Darren. How you doing today, man?
I am amazing, Joe.
Great, great. Wow, you're really projecting. That's good. That's
I
good.
know.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us once again. It is Urban Hillside's very own live stream. It's Tuesday, 2 p.m., and that means it's Real Estate Reality with your hosts, Darren and Joe. So we're going to go over a topic, a question. Darren, we actually got a client question today that we're going to dice through and see what's
Don't
going
act
on there.
surprised, Joe. We get them all the time.
Oh yeah, we get them all the time. Sure. I got so excited when I got the text. And then we're going to do the usual. We're going to go through actives that have come up in the last 7 days, and then also solds that are notable, either for being a seller win or a buyer win. And just to look around the corner, Darren, there was not a justifiable buyer win this week.
Ah,
Yeah,
ironic
wasn't,
with where
wasn't
the
even worth it.
inventory is going, and yeah,
Yeah, no, it all wraps into what we're going to do today and talk about.
yeah.
So, all right, well, look, guys, let's go ahead. I'll do my famous disclaimer. Let's see here. What's it say? It says Darren Hubert and Joe Cloninger are real estate agents at Avenue 8 under the Urban Hillsides brand. All opinions expressed by Urban Hillsides or guests on this video are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Avenue 8. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Urban Hillsides as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of Urban Hillside's team's opinions. This video is for informational purposes only. All right, there we go.
Just take that recording right there, Joe, and play it on the next one.
Yeah. Oh, that would be interesting. Why didn't I do that before? Um, so I guess another congratulations to some clients of ours, right, Darren? Donna and Josh.
Yeah, some longtime clients. Always feels. I always feel so thankful when we haven't spoken in a long time and they still remember you and give us a call, and
Well, it says
you
a
know
lot. You're right.
it does. It means a lot, and we help them facilitate a purchase of a very large lot adjacent to their property. Um,
It was very unique because at least in my lifetime with you, this was an interesting thing, right? So they saw an opportunity behind their present home to buy more land. That doesn't always happen, does it?
no, it doesn't. Um, yeah, so it was an off market purchase that we helped facilitate. Yeah, it could create an opportunity down in the future for them. It probably will.
Well,
I'm I'm not hearing you, Joe. You were fading out there.
talking about maybe adding another dwelling, another building. What are they thinking?
It's just unknown. Where it's
Yeah,
situated. It's hillside. Hillside's always complex.
yeah.
Um, yeah, maybe just another structure for their existing space. Their existing space isn't enormous. It could be a primary home built in that larger space, whereas the existing could become the secondary. So it could be a build out for the future, but access could be an issue. So, they're creative. He's an architect. I don't think they're in a rush to do anything right now. They now own the land, and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing you again, Joe.
Can you hear me now? Is that any better?
I can't. Maybe just lower your mic.
I don't know. I'm gonna hear. Let's try this. Oh, there he is, right there. Very strange. I'm gonna check this mic out later. So anyway, yeah, but it's 36,000 square feet. That's a lot of land. I think they got a good deal.
I do think they got a good deal. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was I was happy for them.
And of course, we have to thank Carlos, their
Sure.
neighbor, who was part of it as well as the owner. So thank you
Yeah, who
guys.
who we've met on walks in the neighborhood around them,
Yeah.
and had a relationship with them for years. But yeah, I mean, the two of them connected, and it happened. So it's great.
Well, great. So let's get into it. So, Darren, when I got the uh, question from our client, there were a couple questions there, but basically her question was about, is there a seller rush? A rush to get their home sold before the market tanks, before it crashes, before the bubble bursts, all these wonderful stories we're starting to hear. So,
Right.
I guess what I wanted to share is what she sent me, which was, let me go ahead and share here. Um, there we go.
Right. Articles, the subject lines these days are always put out there to capture your attention. Right.
Well, yeah,
They're trying to feed a belief that you already have,
right,
often,
right, and
or
and
create
that's
fear.
after I read it a couple times, I gave her our answer that we feel very secure about when people ask these sorts of questions. But when I started reading it over and over again, I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. I think this is clickbait. I think this is a headline just to draw in readers, just to draw in hopeful buyers, to give them a little ray of sunshine. But when you read the article, uh, yeah, it's up for interpretation. So let me get through it real quick. It is
You,
from Red. Go ahead.
I was going to say just one quick note on that,
Yeah,
on your comment. You bring up a very interesting topic because this specific company who wrote this article is very much about drawing in more buyers.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
that works in their favor. This headline does a lot.
All right. Well, here we go. Housing market update. Sellers rush to find buyers before demand weakens further. So this was published, the 19th, May 19th. New listings climbed sharply, and the share of listings with price drops reached 2.5-year high as early stage homebuyer demand declined. Homebuyers may finally start to notice signs that the market is shifting towards their favor. More sellers came to the market during the 4 weeks ending May 15th. New listings climbed nearly twice as fast as they did at this time last year, and the share of listings with the price drop rose to its highest level in 2.5 years. Home buyers continue to pull back in the wake of record high purchasing costs. Mortgage purchase applications fell to their lowest level since May 2020, and the number of home buyers touring and offerings on homes, as measured by the Redfin Homebuyer Demand Index, posted its largest annual decline since April 2020.
Now,
Still,
I
go
don't
ahead.
think we're in a position to dispute any of this stuff, but it's always a matter of in what proportions, and
Yep.
that things were so out of balance. I mean, so far out of balance that an adjustment in those directions does not, it shows maybe a movement, but it's not a market shift, which they identify early, which is, that's inappropriate in my
Well,
opinion.
and that's the thing. We'll start running these numbers, and you got to think twice about them. So, still, desirable homes are getting scooped up at a record pace, a median 15 days on market. And that's the other thing, as you're saying, Darren. I told her, I said, this is a national view of everything. She lives here in LA, and she's looking in San Diego and LA. That's a whole other story right there. Rising mortgage rates have caused the housing market to shift, and now home sellers are in a hurry to find a buyer before demand weakens further, said Redfin chief economist Daryl Fairweather. Not only are more homes hitting the market each week, but sellers are dropping their prices at rates not seen since before the pandemic. This sudden pressure on sellers is good news for those home buyers who can still afford to buy at today's higher mortgage rates. These trends point to an even cooler market this summer. Okay, buying season. Let's get going. Leading indicators of home buying activity. So, fewer people search for homes for sale on Google. Searches during the week ending May 14th were down 11% from a year earlier. Okay. The seasonally adjusted Redfin Home Buyer Index, a measure of requests for home tours and other home buying services from Redfin agents, was down 8% year over year during the week ending May 15th. This was the largest decline since April 2020 when the pandemic paused most home buying activity. So I wouldn't say that Redfin is the whole market. So, but it's nice to see they're watching all these numbers for themselves. Touring activity from the first week of January through May 15th was 25% points behind the same period in 2021, according to home tour technology company Showing Time. Again, Showing Time, as you know, Darren, we don't like using it. I don't think a lot of agents like using it. So it's a
Sure,
nice number. It's a nice
it
number.
could be a specific demographic that it only affects.
Yeah. Yeah. Mortgage purchase applications were down 15% from a year earlier, while the seasonally adjusted index decreased 12% week over week during the week ending May 13th. Now, these things are happening, right? We just spoke to one of our lenders.
Clearly, all of
Yeah.
these things are happening. I don't think that's being disputed, and they could be signs of a shift towards a little bit of a balance in the market. And again, I think the continual thing that's going to ring true is that it's been so out of balance that a movement does not indicate a shift. It
Mm-hmm.
does indicate maybe for a moment moving towards some stability.
For the week ending May 19th, 30-year mortgage rates decreased slightly to 5.25%. Okay, so key housing market takeaways for 400 plus US metro areas. Now, I'm going to show you a map of another study of 400 US metro areas, and that's another interesting one. We might even need to pass that off to the next live stream, man. There's so much going on here. Unless otherwise noted, the data in this report covers the 4 week period ending May 15th. Redfin's housing market data goes back through 2012. Data based on homes listed and or sold during the period. The median home sales price was up 16% year over year to a record $398,500. I don't know where that house is, but all right. The median asking price of newly listed homes increased 18% year over year to $416,425, a new all-time high. The monthly mortgage payment on the median asking price rose to a record high of $2,447 at the current 5.25% mortgage rate. This was up 43% from $1,706 a year earlier when mortgage rates were 3%. Pending home sales were down 6% year over year. New listings of homes for sale were down 0.6% from a year earlier, the smallest annual decline since March. New listings climbed 15% from a month earlier compared to 7.8% increase over the same period in 2021. Active listings, the number of homes listed for sale at any point during the period fell 15% year over year. 55% of homes that went under contract had an accepted offer within the first 2 weeks on the market, up from 54% a year earlier, down 1.5 percentage points from the record high during the 4 week period ending March 27th. Yeah, I don't know if 1% is that much. 41% of homes that went under contract had an accepted offer within 1 week of hitting the market, up from 40% a year earlier, down 1.5 percentage points from the record high during the 4 week period ending March 27th. Homes that sold were on the market for a record low median of 15 days, down from 19.7 days a year earlier. A record 57% of homes sold above list price, up from 49% a year earlier. On average, 4.4% of homes for sale each week had a price drop. Overall, 17.8% dropped their price in the past 4 weeks, up from 12.1% a month earlier and a 9.5% a year ago. This was the highest share since October 2019. The average sale to list price ratio, which measures how close homes are selling to their asking prices, rose to an all-time high of 102.9%. In other words, the average home sold for 2.9% above its asking price. This was up from 101.5% a year earlier. So I don't know if you can kind of get it, Darren, but for me, I kind of felt like, oh, this is kind of dicing some small numbers into even smaller numbers to try to get some importance out of it. But there are some numbers here to think about.
Yeah, and part of our conversation has been about the people trying to predict the future, people living in the present. So this snapshot of 4 weeks that they're
Yeah.
working off of here is, I was trying to quickly define. I mean, we're not lenders, but we're in tune with it. So it's basically in a period where there have been 2 large interest rate hikes. So of course, the visceral reaction to that market is, oh, I'm pulling back. And historically, markets, well, of course, things don't go in one direction. We always have little downswings, little upswings. We're in the middle of a downswing, And that downswing is related to large interest rate hikes. And we're already seeing in the last 2 weeks after this article was
Mhm.
published that interest rates have been floating back down. Now let's see a month from now. What does
Yeah.
that equal with all of this activity? Um, so it's a snapshot. Again, I'm not questioning the snapshot. There's something that could have triggered a lot of those negative market components. Will
Mhm.
it continue to move in that direction? Or is that just a blip in a different direction or a stabilizing, an initial trigger for a more stabilizing component, which means more inventory. The inventory has
Yeah.
been anemic, it's
Yeah.
ridiculously low. So yeah, buyers have given up. Then you hit the buyer with and we've experienced this personally, of course. You hit them with you have no inventory, and now you're going to pay, a point higher on your loan. In addition to that, some of them just said, "Hey, I'm just putting a pause. I'm just hitting the pause button, man.
Yeah.
To see what happens." So
Well, I put this in the comments so you guys can check this all out yourself. Um, you know, and we'll share some numbers later as we go into our solds and actives. But yeah, great numbers here to consider. But there are other sources, there are other data points, and so what I wanted to share was um, Fortune, Fortune magazine. Let me close out of this. Here's the story. The odds of a home price decline hitting your local housing market is told by one interactive chart. So, again, I think the headline from the Redfin article was obviously to elicit some hope and some business, hopefully, out of buyers, looking for a positive spin that maybe prices might be coming down. Here we've got Fortune. Basically, they worked with CoreLogic to come up with the odds of a regional home price dropping over the coming year. So it is interactive. It's very cool. If we go to Los Angeles, there is a low chance of prices dropping. But if you want to move out to Lake Havasu, Lake Mead, I guess, right? Kingman, all that. High chance that you're going to get some declines there. And then right next door, Prescott Valley. Where's another spot here? Bend, Oregon, high chance, and so on. So again, I will put this in the comments, and you can check out your own neighborhoods and maybe where you want to move to. Maybe this will be a guide.
yeah, and we're in this interesting snapshot of time, right? And there's always push and pull in the market. Well, there's been a lot of push for a long time. Now there's a lot more people stacking up on the pull side, right? Is that all of them are trying to predict the future and by looking at the past. So that's the Redfin article looking at the past, saying this is real things. Great. Is it going to affect the future? Not sure. But more people are talking about it now, and there's more conversations out there and articles coming out. That alone could impact the market if that perpetuates, if enough people believe it and get on board for a market shift. But only time will tell.
Yeah.
I think the sources, a lot of the sources we read, still talk about stabilizing markets, still some price increases for the year, maybe not 25%, but stability and small growth in our market at least.
Well, so I'll just read this paragraph, and I think this helps out. We should probably break this article into another show, but anyway, it goes, even in the face of soaring mortgage rates, CoreLogic still thinks the chances of prices declining in 2022 are fairly low. Why? The real estate research firm points to the mismatch between inventory and the strong buyer demand. That's also reflected in its national forecast. Over the coming 12 months, CoreLogic predicts U.S. home prices are poised to rise 5%. That would mark a deceleration from the 19.8% jump posted over the past 12 months. But it's
Right.
hardly the relief priced out buyers are seeking. So there you go. That's kind of
Yeah.
in a nutshell what we're talking about here.
It's always hard as a buyer to continue to chase an uphill market, particularly one that's moving fast. If it stabilizes or levels off, they'll find a comfort. So it takes time to become. I mean, we've all been there. We've been buyers, and if you're writing offers at 700,000 one day, and a month later you're having to write offers at 800,000, it feels unstable.
Yeah.
But if you wrote it at 700 today, didn't get it, and 700 tomorrow and didn't get it, maybe 710 the next month, you're like, I feel great about this, fine. So even leveling off will create a sense of stability and bigger commitment from more buyers in the market, in my opinion.
Well, this is interesting. So the other map they have here is CoreLogic also calculated whether local income levels could support local home prices. The finding, CoreLogic says 65% of U.S. regional housing markets are overvalued. That includes every major market in states like Arizona, Florida, and Texas. Just 9% of regional housing markets are what CoreLogic deems undervalued. 26% get its normal label. So, once again,
where are we at there?
Let's see.
I think we're one of the highest.
Let's see. Los Angeles, Long Beach, Anaheim, overvalued. For sure.
Yeah.
But
always, it's been a struggle, and for some time, I remember this being front and center a long time ago. Just became normalized, that the ratios don't work, which is why so few can buy in a region, but yet homes are still selling. The question becomes, if the inventory jumps, will there be enough buyers? That's the only time that dynamic is truly going to shift, become a buyer's market.
Yeah. So we'll see how this all pans out. I think 2023, right, might be a better indicator of where prices are going to move. They've certainly slowed down, as you said. Prices are still going to remain high, for at least in our area, for sure. But yeah, maybe if you're out in Prescott, Arizona, you're going to see some real action.
Well, there always are, but there are big economic components, cost of gas and oil and transportation and availability of supplies post-COVID or semi-post-COVID,
Well, one of the things that I left her with is, and anybody who has an agent, and if they don't, they should go get one, is I said, tell me where you want to buy, and let's do a study of that area, and let's see what's really going on there. Not just the past, as you said, 3-4 weeks on a Redfin article, but let's really look at your defined neighborhood and see what's going on there. Because we know it changes block to block, region to region, neighborhood to neighborhood. And that's really what it comes down to. So.
Yeah. And for a lot of people, the compromise of, okay, if you can't afford where you want to buy, what are other options? Start exploring other options.
Well, one thing, let's see if I can find it. I hadn't showed, here it is. So, real quick, again, just as an example of the data and the reports that we can bring out for people, I did this off the MLS, and this was just a look, Darren, at 90039, 26, and 65. But, and this was from May 2022, and I just did single family, no particular parameters or specifics, but you can see here homes for sale in 90039, May 31, in 90026, 75. That sounds really high. And then in LaSalle Park area or Mount Washington, 78. So and then it's got here comparisons of 90039 and 21. There were 61 homes for sale at this time versus now 31.
Right. So you can say, referencing the Redfin article, inventory can double and we will be at 2021 levels. And it's not like that was a buyer's market. That's yeah, that's something a good perspective.
But this is just an example again of what we can pull out with a personal discussion about where a buyer might be, where a client might be. So now, Darren, I know you asked for the last 4 weeks, and this will segue into
Yeah.
our solds, notable solds. But let's see here. Let me pull
So as you know, we announce every week. We talk about a little bit of new listings and sold listings.
it out.
And we're looking at the numbers, right? What direction is the inventory heading in on a weekly basis? 1 week doesn't change the market. But we're looking for trends that we can identify. And we've had 2 weeks in a row now where there is a substantially larger amount of new listings than there are sold listings, which means an inventory increase. 2 weeks doesn't make a market, but it's something we'll continue to watch because it's a big enough number that it's worth watching. Again, could be triggered by some of those articles if this is it.
And
Oh, I got to
that
get
was a
out.
question. Yeah, that was a question I had. I was like, okay, well, how much of this is just regular spring and summer
Yep.
season versus, yeah, the big story that's happening right
Right.
now?
And
It's probably a combination, right?
nobody can predict that at all.
Yeah.
Right. This is why we want to track it over a longer period. We're doing our best to identify the history as quickly as possible and identify a trend.
Yeah.
But it's there. We're pointing it out. So be aware of it. We'll continue to track this and see if those ratios continue to be so far off.
And on the sold side, starting from 426, it's definitely dropped. But again, that first 3 weeks, it's kind of even for the most part between 28 and 24. I wouldn't call that a trend, like you said. But this last week it did go down to 12. So
Right.
let's look at a couple of those 12. Let's see here.
And the ratios, I can't see the numbers on your screen there, Joe, but so the ratios this week are 12 solds. And what was our amount of actives?
46.
46. 12
Yeah.
to 46. So, 4 times as much.
Go ahead and look at sold. And as I said, Darren, I did not find a buyer win. The only buyer win I found was like at $6 million, and it sold for $6 million. So
Wow.
I don't know if that's good enough. So
It's a
yeah,
small sampling at 12,
yeah.
but that's what it was for the week. So,
Well, let's take a look at a couple of these. So we're going to go to 1323 North Avenue 56, and this started at a humble 1,062,000, and it landed at 1,600,000 for a $538,000 increase. Let's take a look and see what.
I remember seeing that saying it was so underpriced.
Yeah. I think we mentioned that. You're right.
Totally.
Yeah.
Clearly.
So, right, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,332 square feet of living space. Very nice lot. Very nice yard. 6,200 square foot lot. 1,600,000. This is in Highland Park. Small little garden shed, it looks like. Took 14 days on the market to sell, and brought to us by Edith Renna and Liz Johnson and Kurt Wisner over at Compass. And on the buy side, Vanessa Young, who seems very busy this year, it seems.
It does,
We're
yes.
starting to see her name, so good for her.
We are.
But yeah, clean.
Just crazy underpriced, though.
Vintage. Yeah.
I mean, it should have been listed. I would have said 1.3.
Yeah.
Still would have gone up 300,000, and
Yeah.
in the end, good for the seller. I just hate the false hope that it gives buyers.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
All right. Well, there we go. Let's see. Okay, next we're going to move off to. Well, here, let's see. Let's go 2490 Loy Lane. So this started at $1,098,000 and landed at, let's see, $1,594,080. So let's see. This is in Eagle Rock. This was 496,080. Oh yeah, this was another man where I was like scratching my head big time. Okay, so let's take a look. This is 2490 Loy Lane. This is Eagle Rock, and 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,215 square feet, and sold for $1,594,080. 5,800 square foot lot, and yeah, took 11 days on the market. It was Jonathan Klein on the listing side, and then Renee Wiebenson over at Compass. But clean, good-looking house. For me, not a lot of curb appeal on the front.
Yeah, there isn't. Unlike the one we just looked at, which had crazy curb appeal, great interior appeal, it just had it all. This one didn't have as much curb appeal, but the inside was nice. The flow was nice. The yard space in the back was nice. So it feels underpriced, but I wouldn't have thought it would have gone up this high. So congrats to the seller there.
The next one was interesting. I put under my notes seller stubborn. So this is 4402 Ellenwood, and doing some digging. This started at $1,699,000, and it landed at $2,100,000 for a $401,000 increase. Let's see here. So the reason why I put stellar stubborn is I look back in the history, and it's gone through 2 or 3 listings with a couple different agents, and it started at $3,499,000.
Oh, gosh.
So,
oh man.
Yeah, I mean, nice house, a lot of square footage. It's at Ellenwood and York. Darren, if you know, that's a very well traveled
Sure.
car traffic area. So, I'm sure they're seeing a lot of headlights in their windows. But yeah, I was really floored by that. So this journey started like back in, what does it say, 2021.
Yeah, there are some sellers that
Yeah.
just benefit from not selling, and the market rises to their desired price.
Yeah. But again, here's the lesson: you start at $3,499,000, you end up at $2,001,000.
Right. Did not rise to their desired price. That's
obviously, that didn't work out.
Right.
And the poor agents who had to ride that down. So,
right.
Sorry, guys.
Well, that's why they moved on to other agents.
Yeah.
There is a point.
Oh, and a discount agent as well.
There is a point, and
every
we do this, as many agents will, where you just say, I won't take that listing at that price.
Yeah.
It's just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let me show you one more, and then we can end and move on to actives. So this was in your neck of the woods, Darren. This was Cerro Gordo.
Yeah, I saw that.
1531 Cerro Gordo. And for me, it was just about seeing what the old house looked like. So this started at $2,395,000. It landed at $2,650,000. And that's a pretty healthy increase, $255,000. But let's take it in its present form. So this is 4-bedroom, 5-bath, 2,426 or 462 square feet on a 7,500 square foot lot, and took 14 days on the market to sell. And this is brought to us by Rob Kalick and Justin Freeling. And on the buy side, Rafi Dekassian at John Hart. You know what I liked about this, Darren, was just the whole minimalism of it all.
Ah, the
You know,
streamlined.
we talk
Absolutely.
about staging, but wow, man, this is like it
No,
works.
it's completely about the streamline. No molding around the windows, no upper cabinets in the kitchens, no crown molding. All the paint is one color, flat panel doors, just
Yeah,
everything was minimal
yeah,
as far as permanent impressions in the space.
yeah. Very cool. Now, I just wanted to show you again what it looked like a couple years ago, because it really had a transformation. It really speaks to the creativity of. And you might even need to look at the street view, but I think you know this
I
street
do know
view.
the house. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know exactly where it is.
it wasn't very impressive. You know, I mean, they cleaned it up, but when I looked at the Google Street View, it's really this is even a polished version of its past. And that you get of this for its future form is maybe the bookshelves, and I think there's an outdoor area. Yeah, like this little
Yeah,
thing. You start seeing.
it already had that beam ceiling. Wow. They didn't do a crazy amount. They certainly did some work, and the staging helped make it look better. And um, they did very impactful things. Even the front looks the same.
Yeah,
Same fence location.
yeah, very well thought out. Yeah, and I think at that time, 2 years ago,
Well, yeah, what did it sell for then,
it
Joe?
was 1,335,000,
Wow.
and it was 1,792 square feet. So they're claiming another 700 square feet somewhere.
Well, that's substantial. That's a lot. Yeah. When did it sell originally?
List date 7/21/2020. Status date 9/30/2020.
Got it. 9/30/2020.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm assuming they never lived in it then, otherwise they would have waited another 3 months maybe to get the
Hmm.
tax break.
Yeah. 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 It was like an LLC. Yeah. It was a.
Got it. Well, cool. That's a beautiful property, and it had a good energy. It really did. Yeah. All right. So we're moving on to actives now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'll pick a couple here. We have a lot to choose from. Um, so what about, look at this real quick. Yeah, 1300 McCollum looks nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's well priced. 1900 square feet in that neighborhood.
Yeah. Hmm. All right. Oh no, I didn't see this one. 1300 McCullum Street, 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,901 square feet of living space, listed at 1,675,000 on a 4,200 square foot lot. Oh, I do know this house. Open house 5/26 from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Twilight open on Thursday, and 5 days so far on the market. This is brought to us by Alyssa Valentine and Kurt Wisner.
Yep, it looks great. It's probably one of the biggest drawbacks is the exposure. I think it's on the corner of
Corner, it is a corner. Yeah,
Reservoir maybe
yeah,
and McCollum, but so that big 2-story, lots of windows, has exposure to to the street. But it's a great garden, wonderful porch, good size home. Uh, Enough original elements to make it feel older, but a lot of great updates, it looks like, as well.
Yep. Yep. Good
I
choice.
expect this will sell fast and go up for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah. Well, I think the house across the street from it, it was almost brand new build. Yeah. It
Yep.
was like that was in the twos. Um,
Yeah, this is probably going to go into the twos. So I would say, and these are the same people as the last one that I was commenting on the sold, that
uh-huh.
it's very underpriced and it will create a lot of activity and a busy open house.
What else do you see out there?
I was looking at some over in Eagle Rock that I liked. Well, let's look at a comparable size. Let's look at 5159 Sheeran in Eagle Rock.
Okay. 51, 59. Got it. All right. Okay.
It's a lot of lawn in that front yard, man.
Yeah, I was impressed with that. 5199 Sharon Avenue, two bedroom, one bath. Wow, 1,808 square feet. 1,569,000 is the list price in Eagle Rock. 10,000 square foot lot. Again, Thursday open from 11 to 2. Days on market so far 2. And this is brought to us by Charlie Clark.
Yeah, so look at that. I don't know if you've gotten to that garage photo yet, but oh my gosh, looks like the
Yeah.
garage is like 3 car deep. It's just enormous.
Wow. Wow.
Um, the staging is not as impressive by any means.
Right.
So it doesn't have that huge emotional bump that we
Yeah.
saw in the past when we just looked at.
Yeah.
Um, that's going to be its limitation, but it's a great neighborhood. It's a good sized house on a good
Oh,
street,
yeah.
and that garage is a huge bonus.
Yeah, man. Oh, my God. It's like an
Yeah,
aircraft hangar.
I don't know how off, skewed that photo is, but it looks like it's
Yeah.
enormous. A lot can be done with that garage. I think we're living in the era of potentials for garage and the value that they offer,
Yeah.
like never before. I
Yeah.
think it's always existed, but it's a whole nother level now.
All right.
I just always go for the low price ones as well. They draw me in. 1838 Linda Rosa, very well priced, 2-1 at 699,000. This probably is not going to be particularly impressive. It's the price that's impressive.
Okay.
Let's say it looks like it could be lived in, and that says a lot for that price point. Although the carpet, I can imagine somebody living it with that carpet, though.
1838 Linda Rosa Avenue in Eagle Rock again. Two bedroom, one bath, 718 square feet, 699,000. And on a smaller 3889 square foot lot.
Small lot.
Yeah, 7 days on the market so far. And this is brought to us by a Michael Galliote at Pinnacle.
Oh gosh, I know that name.
Lipa. Yeah.
Is it listed by represented by?
In the remarks.
Oh, Pinnacle. You said he's Pinnacle. Okay.
Pinnacle.
He used to own a company that said represented by was the name of the company. So it said represented by Michael Galliote on the signs. Well, another advantage to this space is you get a garage, which is huge these days. I imagine what really makes this more valuable is a tall street fence, so you can utilize the yard. The house is pushed a little more towards a corner, so you have plenty of yard space to work with.
Yeah.
If you have a tall fence and gain some privacy with that. But great value. This will, I imagine, sell fast, and there's going to be competition with cash for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking of somebody, but he needs a garage, so it's not going to work. All right. Next, what else you got out there?
I think I'm going to pick one more. I was just noticing a couple on Meridian. So 5417 Meridian Street. Reasonably traveled streets in Highland Park that, you know, over time has just gone up in value. Oh, there's one more I want to look at after this.
This is
But
5417 Meridian Street, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,251 square feet of living space, $1,095,000 in Highland Park, 3,600 square foot lot, and 5 days on the market. Brought to us by Henry. Hey, Henry, Placencia.
nice. Cool. Well, it's a small lot. That is a negative. That's probably what's going to keep the price down because we've been seeing properties on this street go up. I was going to say maybe $1,200,000, $1,300,000 easily, and maybe it still goes there if it's just the right buyer. But if it was a larger lot, it would go there. So good for him for getting close to the price, but leaving a little margin.
Yeah.
Still.
Cool.
All right. So the last one I saw, which I think is interesting, is 4008 Sonova Street.
Let's see, 4008.
And this is in Montecito Heights.
That's why it sounded familiar.
Yeah, listed at a crazy price of $575. I'm looking for something crazy here. Cash only. That's fine. That doesn't surprise me.
I saw this for one of our clients, but I nixed it. All right, so 4008 Sonova Street. This is in Montecito Heights. 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,262 square feet of living space on a almost 5,000 square foot lot. Great price, $575,000, and it's been on the market for 3 days.
That doesn't make sense. Why does it have original listing date of 10/1/21?
Shel Tripodi of Keller Williams. What's going on?
Yeah, there's some weirdness. Do you see private remarks right now?
Yeah, hold on. Agent remarks, no blind offers, cash only, foundation needs repair, and other issues. No seller credit or repairs, buyer to read and approve, blah, blah, blah. Offers due May 30th, 5 p.m.
Well, it's a great deal if you can do a cash purchase, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, great. Let me just get out of here real quick. So, man, parting shot. What do you got?
I'm losing you on volume if you look down, just you know.
Parting
shot.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Just to read the articles. You're gonna get a lot of opposing views out there right now.
Confusion.
Yeah. So just digest them. See where it makes sense, where it doesn't make sense. If you need help digesting it, obviously contact your agent. They should be able to give you some direction, some insight. Yeah.
That's a really good point. Okay, guys. Well, look, have a great week. We're going to have one. And Darren, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, have a nice long weekend. Cool.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Bye.